Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Monalisa Rambai bringing to you the news and events in Meghalaya. The headlines for today are: ALHEC clarifies allegations of distributing money to the public. The pandemic teaches humans to be more sympathetic towards their fellow beings. Father Paul Odlinkot announced that strong will, faith in God, and cooperation with the doctors made him win the battle against the coronavirus. And now the news in detail. In response to a new item being circulated through the social media networks alleging that the Health Minister was distributing money to people of his constituency, Mr. ALHEC said that 4 days earlier he has extended financial assistance to households that were in dire need belonging to the BPL section. He had issued admission slips to them, informing them the dates and times when they were to come and collect the financial assistance from him. The assistance covered the purchase of essential food items for the families. He added further that people thronged to his residence following the announcement of the government to impose a total lockdown in the district, fearing that they would no longer be able to avail the assistance that they were supposed to avail, as per the date and time given by him. Apparently, the date and time as given by the minister fell in between the total lockdown, which caused a panic in the hearts of those who are in the BPL category and had been issued admission slips by the health minister. Having arrived at his residence ahead of the appointed date, they were nonetheless received by Mr. Heck, who supplied them with masks, sanitizers, and were ushered into his chamber in pairs to collect the financial assistance.
Morning 10 o'clock and so on and so forth. Nang bala ban ai ki dinga financial assistance nang bonta kila banyo bandit di essential community for their livelihood. Kemudian kesan ka di सरकार के दुनी kala de announce ya ka lockdown, complete lockdown. Adin ba announce ka complete lockdown di itu dia slip di badi benduan sim, dia license so swiru kimla lock show ban up. Dan dalam menek la show rush to baro bawan di dunia nak kata financial assistance. Cuma bila slot dengan timing, bila slot dengan date, nak macam date. Henry nomor berkadai ke lockdown, kita mula asyik berduan, nak tahu what ki pulit, tahu mana mesti dia punya mesti, abang kia bersedang lagi dengan mana guru, kalau i kalau zaman baik dia, kita mula asyik nomor bagi pat ba, kita ikut sibun di jengah. Kamdam lele itu kita duduk kita jejak. Ini le kumdo, ni kamsa iki bernung dia Henry. Ila pendiang untuk social distancing, ila deng mask, ila ai ke sanitizer iki, di penrung iki arut yang dungi, ban ai ke jingrat iki kat bagila, siajar tengkap meroi, nak bentar gitu ki bala ai slip saus pa, mun. Ndai mende pada kende tang saus pa mun ai slip, kibik biar leti nang turu yang lain lah. Tinggi mana bencuba iki beli bopri boleh nak ke dingi ke dinjar, tinggi persangkat lah kat dia benyerap gitu bun balang Ndai. Hadir membelajar ban control, layo phone nai video, layo phone naki magistrate, baki labon pala gibre baki di para majan marparu la complain nut, ya ki bor ki bahalor babalai bahayeng jo health minister, la tabri betul nalor bajon ngenigat spike.
In the last few weeks, the state had witnessed a surging spike in the number of positive cases, wherein the situation has become a bit alarmed despite the government's decision to impose containment measures in the state. The spreading of the virus is uncontrollable. Therefore, to put a check on the rising number of COVID-19 cases in the state, the government felt the need to impose the total lockdown in areas where the number of cases keeps increasing. Yesterday, the government decided to impose total lockdown in East Khas Hills district from 8 p.m. of 19th May 2021 to 5 a.m. of 31st May 2021. The government has given 1 day time for the public to collect the essential groceries. On the other side of the preparation for the lockdown, the general public was seen running around for the essentials. Speaking to few people, they said, the government should have at least given 2 days time to get their required essentials for the 10 days lockdown. They expressed the sudden decision by the government has forced them to come up and line up for the essentials with the fear that they would not get their requirements. They have to wait for the essentials with no strict adherence to protocols.
Kang hoy kalong mo sisay kata nawang i last time ru kuntu bala kunbana kuntu kan jibun real de imat nakatu ke jibun real bun spike ke ni gading yo yang ding pang mod kunju ru hakane ka sin mo bentaru ketika sarkar lese namasnu ba kande bana ailat chai real ba tinfit cha jai ben pelong jai ki long panik Masukkan kan men declare kuntu lese ki real ki don hi ke jingking boyo kidu ya ki marba mati mare sini stai pelong ki dukan paro ban bun real ban hadu bala mun la syu kum ka sidang lu ban kontrol limne ki pulis wa juga pot te masuk ban ba biase company ki jingja ko ngene hoy kalau mo sisa ban budai ko sidang lu kan dan di banai ke lockdown sang ba iri banai la di brio hak pagila man kit ko mo yang arsi la sini sausi kat bagadai nang tangi sa ai pada kenika lockdown haji sya kan ko lockdown kala di ban adu musuh ba thrang ban te la kam yang jungfang ban break ke kecil.
In the midst of such unprecedented crisis, when the virus appears to be winning, there are people in pockets of the city and elsewhere who are doing their best to make the lives of their fellow men better. Shri Sambor Langdingdo, owner of the Samkamti petrol pump in Shillong, offered assistance to more than 92 taxi drivers today, the 19th May 2021. These drivers, he remarked, earn during the day so that they can return home with enough essential food supplies to last their family for a day or two. His assistance was a way to encourage others to follow suit and assist people around them.
Nga kamam sinam ru kon bikiot ki driver taksi ru nga irap iki om tengi driver taksi irap lang bagi driver bus ru da ka basa miki tifen hot cases bidang like don nang bagi driver taksi kin yo ban da ka dei ki bikin somja na yin ne ki paso ma dukan ru kala ikot ni mar biki la yo ban song kajal ka jong ka jinta la ka jong ko msit la ka jong di kesin ka balai mga irap yang driver taksi kadai hakini kisnam ni ba kadang ka strike yung driver taksi mo ki kumu try yung pam ite nga idan talam ni bagi driver taksi ni lang ilang na marbay kapan sto ko way ba ni try pam ni embek na ki driver taksi te pam jungi hero ki ban pen em hingi ki ba customer jungi daily customer jungi ki driver taksi te menta hakajing ya sem jingalot ajing hakajing sem jingalot ki brio hakani ka ki driver taksi ki belapen emut ini ki try pom te kadi kamram jungi ru mah ki try pom bengin dan bertalang te mendai bengin suya hun tang bengin suya sem kata ka bisa bagi wania mau tang bagi wania tid diesel kit petrol ngi ndre kumakani ka kya ka shan kadi ka kamram jungi ru ki try pom kan bengin ya snot tilang bat ki driver taksi da kadai kanono ka benta te
The Thma Urang Lijuki, TUR, and Workers' Power of Meghalaya submitted a memorandum to the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Mr. Conrad K. Sangma, demanding that Rs 2 crores sanctioned to MLAs to implement various schemes each day should immediately be consolidated into a single fund of Rs 120 crores and cash transfer or income support by the families' daily wage workers, domestic workers, taxi drivers, shop assistants, street vendors and marginal farmers should be done from such a fund of Rs 5,000 in 2 installments. Working class families are staring at hunger, disease and homelessness. This is the time to support the working classes of Meghalaya and therefore keeping in mind financial crisis in the state. It is but right to consolidate MLA LAD and MP LAD funds to help mitigate the crisis being faced by the toiling people of the state. Furthermore, TUR demands that 25% salary of Class 1 officers, including Central Services officers and the tax refund being done for IAS and IPS officer, should also be utilized to take care of the out-of-pocket medical expenses of the working class citizens during this pandemic. Crisis facing our society is not just medical, but is connected to the choices we make vis-a-vis governance and politics.
Before we die of COVID, and we know that we have to abide by protocols. We know that we have to first and foremost try to overcome this pandemic, and everybody is cooperating. But that doesn't mean that the government should abdicate its responsibility to ensure that people do not die of hunger, and that there should be income support for especially daily wage laborers, because they work in the morning and that's how they support and bring food to the table at night. So we from TUR have submitted a memorandum to the government saying that they have to give income support to daily wages. And the government keeps making excuses that they don't have money. There was exorbitant expenditure last year of 399 crores, which is still at that level, not properly accounted for. But irrespective of all that, we insist, we demand that there has to be income support for those who are on the margins. And even if they say they don't have money, we will tell them where they can take out that money from. Every MLA is given 2.5 crores as MLA fund. The government should be taking 2 crores per MLA, which means we will have a fund of 120 crores. MLA funds comes from the Consolidated Fund of India, which means that there is no excuse. This money is there. So it has to be used first and foremost right now to give income support to families to the tune of 5,000 rupees each. We demand that 2,500 be released immediately and 2,500 after a few weeks. And if we are able to do this, we will be able to reach 240,000 households in the state. And it has to be done.
Exactly after 3 weeks of battling against the coronavirus, Father Paul Olinkot, in his isolation period, wanted to express his gratitude to the Almighty God for the strength and care that bring him back to normal. Father Paul wanted to thank the people who were fervently praying for him, the Salesian community, the seminarian boys, the fathers, brothers, sisters, his friends, family, well-wishers, and all the doctors and nurses who took care of him.
Maulai Motsier Tik Mendagasi Lai Teo Nadok Arpo Pratrik Ubna April Arajar Arpo Way Pamendagasi Kakandai Ubnai Jemang Arajar Arpo Way Lai Teo Tik Kabamanga Ngayo Yagani Kichimpang Kanimonia Ringkat Pakajinyo Yauni Yang Jumpang COVID-19 Nakwa Banai likely Himat Hagani Gijin Kwa Banai Happy Government Kopara Man Samlem Menkong Rigiji Sungo Kabar Kajimpang Kabamanga Ngayo Merkabalai Kakubor Kabamanga Kwa Banai Bi Government Kopara Ngai ngo si sayo blay tay kan rat nong bo nong tao nong pulong nong punman nong pun blari bla sumare nga nado ta singi wa mga tip mga yo ya kani ke jingpang bakum juru hakaba kam na ke jingpang ngong go isir khai hadu balata rei blay ta ke jingi ke jingu bla dar ringkal banga bla sumar su khere nga bla tin ndai nga bakrpang ai bla ai ka bor ka bakrpang banyele Banyakun Yau ni Kunyang Jepang Hado Mamanga Yo Biang Yakajin Ko Jinkia Haingo kami beneng ru ke belai asylum nak bentar juga Yudun Bosco Bukoi Ya Ki Reukoi Jong Ke Yeng Kasem Salesian Yu John Paul Bar Bukoi Baru Paulus Bukoi ru beri nong da juga Kini gini gini ai ku beli sia yu beli dagang man kasi ngara ek ya ke jumbo di berkat jingai ke don jenga seu beri tang mu cha ubala bayai wakit baba abatiblut ya ke jinglong ke jengai ke jim jenga nado ku basdang hado ke bamenta bergangu ngadem ke rang ke pangru ya pi government ko para beje kibla dem krup akmadu beli dagang ha ke jing doai Yo rosary jing doai jing snai jing blai kerpang haga jing mani sa kaman koi tam keduan pa kerpang kam tam susu ya ka yu kharis koi pamang pi platarwa na kabenta chunga ai ko blei ya Archbishop Victor Lingdo Archdiocese Shillong bro wakawai ya Archdiocese Nongstoin Jowai Ikilingdo Ikiriuniam kan thei ba sindang bakrapang sisu yo pai jong blei kibra dwai si chana kabanta jonga ha kitu bisngi kibra yele sisha man karpat yo blei da ganda o ha nga ka jingkoi bat sisha ulas ngap ya ka jingdwai ki jongbi te khu blei sibone ai khu blei ru ya kaseng citizen hi bro koi iki padar ki burdar ya ki novice ya ki aspirant ya ki apostolic boys kumjuru ya baro hi ki bla doai na ka benda junga kamdam ki khonjung Don Bosco ka doai na benda junga hak tu singi ai ku blai karpangru ya ki yeng kasem citizen Ikisa baro amla banje kateng saya iki novice iki postulants iki aspirants iki kandi jungi baro kimam giro tu dem group khamaru breita kantat me labasi mandoi ra kamta junga te shisha khublei sibu ni pi baro ki reunion ki badan hajan bhajanga ladoi ra kamta junga mga karbar ay ko blay karpangru ya ki yeng kasem junga ya ki men junga ki kinum ki kong ki prasa junga baro nakajay lingkot ki bala doay karpang siya nakabanta junga mihit labat singi nildan ringkal ban nga mat siya ang layo abiyang ya kani ki jingkoy jingkiya nang baka jingdaway ki jungki.
So viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.